Hello and welcome. Today it gives me great pleasure to speak with Adam Schnell, former professional dancer in numerous companies, in numerous genres, renowned teacher, choreographer, innovator, and presently the artistic director, CEO, and founder of Ballet Vero Beach. Welcome, Adam. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for inviting me, Cameron. I'm excited about this.
You've danced for so many companies, and one of the coolest, I think, and one of that is successful all over the world is Le Ballet Trockadero de Monte Carlo. And it's a company that's really renowned for just being entertaining. So in your current role, what do you think the role of entertainment is in ballet?
I think it's funny that you bring up Trockadero because it's the hardest job I've ever had. And specifically being with Trockadero, the entertainment versus artistic value thing, I don't even see those lines anymore. That's what that experience gave me. I think that good dance is just simply good dance, and good dance has the ability to entertain, enlighten, inspire. With parody or comedy, the entertainment value may appear higher and more marketable. But I think that as long as those standards of quality in terms of choreography and in terms of performers are met, I just don't see the lines between entertainment or artistic value. But my husband, who you know well, Camilo Rodriguez, and Trockadero was performing at the Joyce, and the first ballet on the program was the second act of Giselle, and he was actually dancing Giselle. And it turned out that the woman that I sat next to, she was such a ballet fan, not just of Trockadero, but just, of ballet and dance in general. When the lights came up at intermission, she was crying. And she said, I just thought it was so beautiful. There were so many times where I forgot that they were men making jokes. And for a span of 5 to 7 minutes, I was just transported to that world. So, having that experience and being able to step back as an audience member, it really informs that sort of, I guess, blurring the lines is the best way to say it for me, that entertainment versus artistic value, as long as we are thinking about quality, I tend not even to think about it as an artistic director. I really don't. I think if we're presenting good dance, then the audiences will be entertained, maybe moved to tears, maybe rolling on the floor with laughter, who knows?
I love that you use the word transporting. You really take people somewhere, and that's so great. Can you share an anecdote that highlights a vital lesson you learned and how you perhaps use that wisdom today in your role?
One of my favorite choreographic and also teaching mentors, Sam Kirkshin, and he would say to us, he would literally look at us and go, ballet is about never getting into an ugly position. That's it. That's all you need to know. Especially in ballet, maybe we don't all need to take ourselves so seriously. It's that easy, but it's that difficult. So I really have taken that almost as a personal mantra for life, that, yeah, we don't need to take it so seriously, but if you put in those building blocks of time, of quality, of commitment, then it is that easy. There's that delicate balance we all take with really working ourselves way too hard, but also finding a balance of how to make light of the circumstances that we're in.
Let's talk a little bit about funding. Many companies now are reallocating their theater venue budgets to technology in using their funds in a different way. Is this an investment that Ballet Vero Beach is making at this time?
We were headed down these paths of sort of questioning, what does a ballet company in this day and age look like? And I think that the baseline for me is always, how can we reach as many people as possible with the art of dance? So I know that there is something to be said for this art form. When you take away the spoken word, you can get to people a lot faster, I think. That's sort of the human potential writ large across the stage, and surmounting that with people can speak any language sitting in an audience. It really is transcendent, and I think that for me, with all of these decisions, technology, cancellations, all of that sort of stuff, it just goes back to how can we reach as many people as possible, because it feeds people's souls. Like, yes, I'm concerned about food, clothing, and shelter, but we all need that soul feeding at this point, and convincing people that that is something that they need. That's the tough one.
Right. So you were talking a little bit about working digitally already, and this time has probably prompted that a little bit further in perhaps your programming choices and also your choreographic choices. Do you have to work differently?
The hardest thing in this whole situation with the pandemic is just trying to see possibility. When everything started, it was great to see everyone posting archives and things like that. And I think that 6 months in, I think we all need to start to do better, because I think that we're all going to have to get used to being able to do some stuff live, some stuff digitally, some stuff as a hybrid. So for myself, I was saying we have a kind of exciting project coming up. We're taking our Nutcracker production. So we're filming parts of the second act. So it's sort of like a Nutcracker suite type thing. And we're making it available for free for basically the entire world. We did our season finale as sort of a rehearsal documentary film last April. And then when I was approaching the fact that there was no way to socially distance Nutcracker, either with the audience or the cast members and the crew, I immediately said, well, the very least we can do is put up an archive. And that sort of like, it just ticked a box in my brain. I'm like, well, you're not doing anything. You're not advancing the art form. You're not doing anything creative. You're not trying to bring work to dancers. And so that idea of really kind of pushing and saying, what can we do differently, has started to, inform a lot of our programming. I'm really excited about the film stuff, but it's super scary. Not as a choreographer. I grew up loving Bob Fosse's choreography, and especially the films that he made. I can remember scenes in All That Jazz and Cabaret where he goes from showing you the whole picture to just showing that one hand snapping. That's something we can't do in the proscenium theater as choreographers. As a manager, it is terrifying. Trying to film outside in late summer in Florida and hope that the weather holds because we can only pay the artist so many days, and erecting a sprung dance floor out in the middle of the woods. Like, come on. I didn't think that was what we would be doing. But if you're gonna do something, we might as well put everything we've got into it at this point.
I love that you said advancing the art form, even during this time, that you keep the art form moving forward and keeping everybody inspired and keeping the dancers employed, which is it's such a big part of all this, really.
Again, those nuggets of quality, trying to move the art form forward, trying to make the best of a bad situation. If we were all doing that, I think that it changes the world. It really does. So
we have this unique opportunity right now to sort of write what the dance world, what the future might look like. What do you think we should change? Where's it going to go?
To me, it's much broader than even just the dance world. It's our world at large at this point. At some point, we have lost our ability to see our collective humanity and to be able to just simply treat each other well. I'm a huge fan of dance history and a huge student of dance history. If you look at dance throughout the ages, it always reflects what's going on in the broader context in terms of social change, in terms of historical events. And I think what would be great for the dance world is to just totally pull back, take a step back, and figure out how we can bring people together. I'm just saying we have to do a better job as a dance world of making people feel welcome. That's everything from the most offbeat, like screaming at the audience modern dance piece, to just in a ballet setting, like what are we presenting and how can we, if there might be something dicey about it, how can we contextualize it as part of history and be able to show masterworks that may look dated at this point, but got us where we are today. And that's a big question that I am constantly asking myself. How can we do better to make everyone feel that dance is a safe space for them? But I think that, that's our job. That's our job as artists, to make people feel welcome and resist the urge to package our art in terms of putting people who might not agree with us over there and keeping us over here. Because it's, especially as a manager, graduating into that manager and artistic director debut, I can sit in the back and I can go, if they would only have put 3 sentences in the program contextualizing this, even if nobody read it. At least you made the effort to make people feel comfortable and welcome. And I'm not saying we should be only watching comfortable art. We need to be a little uncomfortable, and we need to be pushed outside of our comfort zone. But it's all in the messaging, and it's all in how you try and bring people together, truly.
Adam, that's lovely. Thank you. I think that kind of sums it up, really. That sums it up. And you said lovely things, and I think everybody needs to listen to it for sure.